Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some and peace out to the rest of you. The blackest heart, the blackest mind, the blackest man on social media, sign a black in and shining again, asking you to hit the share button. You know what it is. I can't talk really loud this time because it's late in the day and it's Ramadan, so I just can't shout. But let me tell y'all something right quick. I saw Sargent Willie Pete's video. Your conjecture versus my receipts. For those of you that know him but don't know about me, I'm the first guy in that video talking. I'm the one answering light skin motivations question, explaining that there will be no propagation of a light skin community because, frankly, at the time that I recorded, I didn't know that there were light skinned women that even preferred or would even give a shot to a light skinned man. I was unaware of that. Now, after I recorded it, I found out that there are some online spaces for that, but in real life, that's not something any of them would admit to. That still holds true, what I said. In real life, you don't want to admit that that's your preference in many cases. But the reason why Sargent Willie Pete and Henry III, I'm sorry for forgetting your last name, sir, had the debate that they had is that, granted, when they're younger, it's true, sisters will go for, they'll go for the chocolate brother. Now, if they want to have kids somewhere in the middle, they may go for the light-skinned guy. But that's assuming she's not light-skinned. If she is, she's going to go for the chocolate brother too. So chocolate brothers at a young age understand that they're wanted sexually and sometimes genetically. Light-skinned men understand we're not wanted sexually. It takes years for many of us to find out that actually we're wanted sexually too, but they can't admit to something like that. It's a shame and it's an embarrassment. So now that that's been said, let me point something else out to us. One of the reasons why there is this debate between the two of them about what sisters want in the long term is because, number one, well, one reason is because sisters tend to want whatever's not in front of them in the long term. No man is enough for the long term, but it takes them a while to find this out. After a while, they start to want whatever's not next to them in the bed. That's a Western phenomenon. There's another reason too, though, and I knew about this game a long time ago, and I forgot about it. I knew about it back in 6th and 7th grade, but I completely forgot until I saw this debate they had online in the comments. This is what happens. See, when you're abundantly melanated and you holler at a club at a party, she's going to point to the opposite of you and say that that's her type. When the opposite of you, i.e. me, comes up and hollers at, I'm talking about when we're young. When I come up and I holler at her, she's going to say that she doesn't date interracially. Do you see the game there? I'm talking the same ones. Now, there certainly was a case going back into the late 80s and early 90s because that was somewhat the transitional period. I mean, what they would actually go for, that was one thing, but what they were going to say, they were still in transition. So what I'm getting at here is that they will sit up here and they will say to you that they're looking for something else, whatever you're not. And now, as we get older, I don't know how often that still goes on. But what I do know is that they still run out of interest with whoever they find themselves. They don't want that anymore. There's, yeah, maybe they want that tall, 7-foot tall NBA player. But Basketball Wives of Atlanta can prove to you that that's not enough to keep them. In the end, what they want is all things to all people. Whether they're still pulling that, the opposite of you was my type stuff that they did back in middle school during my time in the parties and in the clubs, and mostly in the parties, or in the hallways at school, whatever the case they were pulling in, whether they're still doing that today or not, doesn't make a difference. In any case, whatever you are is not going to be enough to keep them. And they wouldn't admit to it if it was. Remember, and Dwight Hayes will back me up on this, they get points for what they diss, for who they turn away, who they turn down, who they turn away, and from whom they take their money in court. They get points for what they can take away from you. They don't get points for actually getting you, except in very rare circumstances. So you got to keep this in mind, that they're in competition with each other oftentimes more than they are with us. And this is why it is that we're sitting up here as guys, Western black men, arguing over what Western black women want. For they want what they can't have. They want what's not there. That's what it is. They want white Jesus to turn black when they hit the streets and turn back white again in the boardroom. That's what they're looking for. And the quicker you realize that, the quicker we realize this, the sooner we're going to come to understand how foolish our arguments and debates are. The main thing they want is for us to not know what they want. I hope that this helps. I hope it's a benefit, and I hope that one day in the future it won't be relevant anymore. Black heart, black mind, black out. Assalamu alaikum.